What's up, good people? What's up, Steeler Nation? How's everything going? Hope everybody is lovely. Hope everybody's lovely, because I don't think you guys were lovely about, let me look at the time. I'll say about an hour and a half ago. I don't think you guys were lovely about an hour and a half ago, maybe even two. But I hope you guys are lovely. And as you can see, guys, I threw on the Terrible Towel Tuesday intro because, listen, Renegade or something must have been played in the second half. And not just for the defense. I think Renegade must have been played in the locker room. You know, maybe there wasn't a speech at all. Maybe they just played Renegade. And the players knew what they had to do. Because, boy, I tell you. The tale of two halves. Definitely. But y'all know how we do, man. We're going to jump right into this thing. I say this every week, but I'm serious. I'm going to try to be a little faster with the show today because, you know, I'm being 100% transparent with you guys. I haven't eaten dinner. You know, I always do that at my father-in-law, Leonard's house. You know, I want to get back over there, you know, and spend the rest of the evening with them you know, eat. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm a little hungry. You know, I'm a little malnourished. All I had was a little bit of eggs earlier today. No snacks or anything. Got my water right here that you guys see me crushing throughout the show. And I want to be as fast as I can so I can take as many phone calls as possible. But just giving you guys a heads up, I may go less than an hour today. Just being transparent. But let's jump right in. I'm talking too much. Let's jump right in. Y'all know how we do for the newcomers. First thing I do is I read a few names, some of the early commenters. You know, that's why I put the link out there a little early just to allow you guys to get in there and chop it up. So I like to recognize you guys first. Then I'm going to talk about the first offensive and defensive possession. Then I will talk about each possession and key moments as far as, you know, offensively, I kind of, you know, mark each offensive possession. And again, key moments defensively. And then I'll talk about a few takeaways. And then we will open up the phone calls. So let's get right to it right away. First and foremost, first one to comment is Rajon39. What's up? My good brother Kenyon in the building. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Patrick Covington, Luis D, Jordan Mid. Hold on, guys. Okay. My wife was sending me something important to bring back over to Leonard's house when I'm done with the show. So let me respond to her, guys. I gotta take time out to do that. Okay? All right, and if you guys can do me a favor, let's see if you guys' memory is as bad as mine. If I could ask you guys to remind me at the end of the show when I'm wrapping up, say, hey, Sim, don't forget to get what your wife said to get. And let's see if we both remember together. But all right, guys, let's get back to it. I said Luis D, Jordan Mid. Hello, Miss Debbie. How you doing this evening? Who else we got in here? Darius Dill. Hello, Miss Odessa. How you doing this evening? Sun Moon 80. Rel Fax. Jesse George. Oh, speaking of which, Jesse George, I'm going to reply back to you a little later today about that thing you asked me about. So yeah. Captain Spartan. Who else we got, man? Zuami M. Y Diggy in the building. Leonard Green in the building. Dwayne Duncantail in the building. Claude Bishop in the building. Sade. Hello, Miss Sade. How you doing this evening? Again, guys, we want to take special time out to say hello to the ladies in the chat. We learned last week that Sade is another lady of the chat, so let's be respectful to them. Who else we got? I think that's about it. Marlon Nicholson and Reggie Carter, Jamal Washington, Sippy Boy, C. Antoine Hill, Ali Howard, steal his cards, and JWA90 and Dior Brick Robinson. Hope I said that correctly. We'll stop there. Let's get into it, guys. So, where's my phone for my notations? And we're going to talk about the opening drive. Steelers got the ball first. So let's chronologize it. Let's see. First play, we're in empty set. What do you know? Looks like the Steelers are going to come out and they're going to do their quick pass. You know, they're going to do their whole quick passing game. Let me tell you guys right now, before I even get all the way into it, I was extremely pissed off with this opening drive, and I'm about to tell you why. Extremely pissed off. Extremely. Let me explain to you why. Let's read it. First play, we're in empty. It was kind of a low throw, and it was dropped by Deontay Johnson, but I don't know if you want to consider that a drop or a bad pass. Which ones do you guys think? The pass was a little low. Deontay had a chance, but didn't bring it in. So I don't know. Do you guys want to call that a bad pass or a drop or both? 2nd and 10. Pass was even lower to Juju, and it was incomplete. Now, with Juju, I could definitely say that probably wasn't as catchable of a ball. But again, low, incompletion. And then, on 3rd, there was another incompletion to Deontay Johnson. Again, ball seemed to be out of reach, if I remember that correctly. I think the first one was more catchable than the third. No. I think he dropped that one too. I think this one actually was the better ball, short of the sticks. But why was I so pissed off by that drive? A couple reasons. Here comes Pittsburgh's short passing game again. Wow, not fooling anyone, right? Not only were they short and quick passes by Ben Roethlisberger, they were inaccurate. What I've been saying most of this season, I think Ben is accurate at times. We saw him with an extremely nice ball later on in the game, but I think his accuracy is just not where it needs to be all the time. It's not consistent. Now, you're not gonna be accurate on every throw. It's not what I'm saying, but what I think Ben's weak spot is right now is not the strength, it's his accuracy. He seems to still have the strength because he's zipping some balls in tight spots. You know, even when he throws it the way it doesn't need to be, he has zip on it. I'm seeing him throw from the opposite side of the hash. So it's not that he doesn't have the strength. So I think his elbow is not compromised there, but his accuracy is just not where it needs to be all the time. But why am I really pissed? Main 2 reasons. 3 and out. Again, to start a game. How many games have we had this year where we've gone 3 and out on the opening possession? And the biggest reason why I'm pissed off, all 3 passes were slants. All 3. Incomplete. All 3 were slants. And that kind of showed me, wow, is this what the game is going to be today? Okay, I'm not going to panic. First drive. So let's take a look and see what we did defensively. Well, defense, Jonathan Taylor picks up 6 yards on the first play. TJ Watt gets a sack on Rivers on 2nd down. TJ showing up early and often like he always does. Steelers give up a 3rd and 8 to my guy, Michael Pittman Jr. And I know it's funny, man, because as we're watching this game, right? The funny thing about it is, you're rooting for your team, right? You're really rooting for your team. But at the same time, man, it's always cool to see one of those fellows that you had an affinity for. And myself and Kenyon, I'll probably even say more so because Kenyon knew more about Pittman before I did. Scouting him well before I did. I knew who he was, but I didn't pay as much attention to him. And Kenyon, he's a USC fan. So again, Kenyon was the guy who brought it to my attention. And sorry guys, I'm just moving my notes around here because I see some of it is out of whack. So you're seeing me look down here, my bad. But it's cool to see players that you enjoy, do their thing. But it sucked to see it happen against us, I must admit. So all right, hold on guys, let me paste this here because I had my offensive drives all out of order here. All right, here we go. So what continued to happen from there? 3rd and 8 pickup to my guy, Michael Pittman. Taylor picks up another 10 yards on a pitch out. Colts having their way. This is what I literally wrote. I'm going to read to you guys literally what I wrote here. Colts having their way with our defense on this drive. I can't even keep up with the successful plays. That's what I literally wrote. I can't even keep up. They just was, bruh. They just they just did what they wanted to do on that opening drive. So the next thing I noted is Edmonds almost comes off with a pick on Rivers on the 2nd and goal play. But Doyle was able to save the pick off because he kind of ripped through Edmonds' hands. Would have been great if Edmonds could have held on to that because that would have took points off the board, et cetera, et cetera. But then right after that, Colts call up a nice draw play on 3rd and goal, and they get in for the score. So, what do you have so far? The Pittsburgh Steelers showing us the same predictable offense that we've gotten a little upset with. Let me throw a sidebar in right there. Listen, the short passing game, it can work. The only thing I've always said is I just wish we would mix it up more. It can work because we saw later on in the game, we were moving the ball down the field. Ben was doing his thing with it. I've never came in here and said that we should never do it. I just say we need to mix up our attack. Stop being so predictable. Because as we saw again today, there were some passes that the Colts were jumping. They had opportunities, man. But anyway, let's continue moving. Second offensive possession. Ben picks up a third down with a catch and run by Deontay Johnson. And at that point, it was the third catch on that same drive. Third targeting catch to Deontay Johnson. And why is that important? I will explain to you in a minute. Well, maybe I'll keep that in my pocket for later. Something I've already said to you guys before, but we'll move on. Steelers were unable to pick up a 3rd and 1. Little Al, y'all know who I'm talking about. Little Al gets blown up, and he meets Benny Snell in the backfield, and we were unable to pick it up. So, of course, the Steelers give it away. Here's something that I notated as well. Listen, we have some serious questions, man, to ask ourselves about the offensive line. We do. I think we've already done that. And again, guys, hold on one second. I see for some reason, man, some of my notes are out of order. I think maybe it's because I was notating it on the MacBook and then it transferred to the phone. Usually it's fine, but sorry for all the pausing and stuff. But yeah, offensive line, man, like Kenyon has said, I'm pretty sure we're going to go in that direction in the draft. We probably are going to need to do that. All right, so let's continue moving. Here's some more key moments. Where is it? The Steelers, we allowed an opening touchdown drive by the opponent for the first time in the season. I did not know that. So that was one thing that I did notate there after they scored. Steelers forced the Colts to start from their own 4-yard line later on. Later on after that series, the Steelers were able to get off the field after forcing a 3rd and 3. And the Steelers dropped Minka into the hole. And I think it turned into a cover 1 on that play. So, my notes there are a little choppy, but you guys will remember we got the good punt. We backed them up. And basically, was that the one that we went for? Hold on, guys. Give me a second, man. I'm telling you, my notes is crazy. I don't know what happened. I might have to grab my computer. Let me see. All right, I think I'm back on track. But at some point, what I notated here is with the Colts, they started from their own 4-yard line. The Steelers were able to get off the field after forcing a 3rd and 3. And then Minka dropped into coverage, into the hole. I think they were running a cover 1 because it looks like man. Minka dropped down to rob it, took away Phillip Rivers, where he wanted to go. Great, we get the ball back. Steelers' 3rd offensive possession. Steelers start the drive on their own 41-yard line. Great field position. Again, us getting them backed up allowed us to have great field position, which we desperately needed because our offense has been putrid. And Ben was sacked by a safety blitz by number 37. I think his name is Willis. Sacked. Steelers are forced to punt. We go 3 and out once again, okay? So y'all keeping track? All of these 3 and outs, again, we're continuing to go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. TJ Watt gets a strip sack on Phillip Rivers following that possession. Hilton almost scoops and scores, but the fact that he did get very, very close to Steelers start the 4th possession with an in-goal situation. Steelers start, and Snell gets the ball and gets stuffed on the 1st down play. Quick pass was shut down on the 2nd down play. Bren draws or offsides on the 3rd down pass to Juju, kind of threw it behind Juju. Juju unable to bring it in. But then finally, the Steelers were able to finish the drive with a hard-nosed, straight up the middle, tough run by Connor. He forced his way in. It is now 7-7. Colts, right after that, put together a strong drive, and Jonathan Taylor finishes the drive with a touchdown, breaks 2 tackles right at the end zone. I know one of them, I think, was Vince Williams. I can't remember who the other guy was, but he breaks 2 tackles, pushes his way in the end zone. And just like that, we're down 14-7. 5th offensive possession. Ben almost throws a pick on the first play. You guys remember that? Threw right into coverage. Snell gets 1 yard on the next play, brings up 3rd and 9, and the Steelers do what? You guessed it. 3 and out once again. Steelers give up a huge throw for a touchdown on the very next possession to Pascal, right? Steelers got caught running the cross blitz that we do quite often. Joe Haden allows Pascal to cross his face, gives up the touchdown. Now, I think this is going to be my first office visit, guys. Joe Haden, come in the office really quick. Joe, I'm not going to get on you for giving up the touchdown. I know it's very tough in that situation, especially when we do our little cross blitz and we kind of leave a lot of you guys on the island. Minka's in the middle, but then Minka has to make a decision on who the biggest threat is, et cetera, depending on how the play unfolds. We'll take a closer look at it on Tuesday when we get to film. However, the conversation that we're having here today, it's not about what you gave up in the game. I think it's time, Joe. You've done a very good job with the Steelers. You've done an outstanding job as a professional with the Cleveland Browns. You were outstanding. Reason why a lot of us were so happy to get you when we got you. And you've done good things for us, pickoffs and everything. But I think right now it's easy for us to see you can't run with these guys anymore. And that's not your fault. You're a little older. You're plus 30. Your speed is not going to be what it once was. And it just is what it is. And I think seeing this, we might have a decision to make come the offseason. Even though we've extended you and things like that, I think there might be some decisions to make. We'll see. Or maybe we can find different spots for you. Maybe we can start moving you inside in certain formations. And maybe allow a guy like like Sutton to legitimately play outside, when we're in the dime. Maybe swap you guys' position. Of course, we're still going to have Mike Hilton out there being the nickel, but let's remember next year, your buddy Mike Hilton, and I'm sad to say this, he probably won't be with the team because of the way he's been playing. He's earned himself some serious money. But I just want to have that talk with you, Joe, man. I think, yeah. That's it. That's all I got, man. I think the best days are behind you, and that's, hold your head up. You've been in the league a very long time playing defensive back. It's not easy. But I had to say that, guys. I think we really should keep our eyes as well on a cornerback situation, even in the draft. If a certain guy is there, we don't know what Justin Lane is actually going to be. We haven't seen him play a ton where he's isolated. He's been out there in the dime where, he has a lot more help and schemed well. Sutton might be the guy that ends up moving outside if we retain him. But then there's the question of Hilton probably not being able to be with us. So it's going to be interesting. I don't want to get long-winded there, but I just wanted to point that out. Something to think about. All right, so 6 possession offensively. The Steelers appear to get somewhat of a drive going with the short passing game. Well, what do you know? Steelers were unable to complete a 3rd and 10, however, right before the 2-minute warning. And we have to give the ball back to the Colts. Now, guys, I'm going to do something that I never thought I would really have to do. But just to prove to some of you guys that I am not biased when it comes to criticism and blame. When it's time for me to call you into the office, I don't care who you are. You could be someone working in concessions, all the way up to Mr. Rooney. I'm going to call you in the office. And it pains me to do this because I definitely support this guy. I'm always defending the nonsense that's talked about him. But there's 2 things that I've always criticized about him, and one of them showed up big time in this game. Reason why he's on the thumbnail. Coach Mike Tomlin, please come into the office, sir. Please. Please. I don't think I've ever had you in here. Come on in here. Mike T, you have been a great coach in my eyes for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Got a Super Bowl ring, even though people want to say you did it with Cowher's players, which I never think that's fair because how many does Cowher have with his players? And I'm a Bill Cowher fan. You know, I love Bill Cowher. I can't say as much about Chuck Noll because I didn't see Chuck Noll coach. You know, it's Bill Cowher and you, Mike Tomlin. You guys have been great for the Steelers organization. You have the highest winning percentage. You set a record this year for the franchise with the start of 11-0. Never been done before. You've been great. You've been great as the face of the franchise, keeping guys together. What a job you did last year when we could have really just ended up like the Jets. Jets. I'm going to talk about them in a minute too, a little later. But Coach T, the two things that I've always questioned when I really started paying attention to it about you as a coach. Number one, and I'm only saying it in this order because I want to save the one that I'm talking about for number two. But let's just say one of these things are your challenges. And I don't know if it's just you or if you have a team of people in the booth. Your challenge ratio has been in the toilet. Let's be honest. I don't know what that is, bruh. That ain't all you, I guess, but it's a whole lot of you because you have to. You're seeing it for yourself. I know you're relying on others, but you pull that flag out. And then there's times where we feel like you should challenge that you don't. But here's a doozy. Coach T, I need to know, what is up with your clock management? I mean, my God. I need a sip of water, man, because I might start yelling. Coach, what is it? How many games have we seen this in your career where we, the couch coaches, right? Sunday morning, Monday morning quarterbacks and Sundays couch coaching, whatever you want to call fans. We're sitting there saying, bruh, what are you doing in that situation? And I'm going to tell you today, and some people might not agree, but what I saw today might have been your worst ever clock management situation. Ever. To me. Let me explain to you why. Okay, let's get back to the notes. All right? Let's get back to the notes. We are able to force a punt on the Colts. We are down. If I'm not mistaken, it was 21-7. Yeah, I think we were down 14 at this point. We forced them into a 3rd and 18. They're backed up. They have a cushion of 14. Would they like to move the ball down the field and score? Sure. But are they forcing the issue? No. You get them in a 3rd and 18. There's 58 seconds on the clock. You have 3 timeouts. Three timeouts in your pocket. You don't call one. Your offense has done little to nothing. You need a spark at this point. Even if you think the offense wasn't going to do anything. This is where it really got strange for me. I try to find the positives in everything. So I'm thinking, dang, man, maybe Coach T don't trust the offense. He doesn't want to force anything. We'll go into the half, down 2 scores. We'll give us a great speech. We'll come out and we'll compete then. Let's not force anything and give the Colts the ball back. Maybe that's what you're thinking. Let me tell you something. I'm still not happy about that. I still would have said, man, you got to try. But I get it. But guess what you do? With 13 seconds on the clock, we taking deep shots. Which lets me know that your intention was to score. So why did you not call a timeout? Did you think Phillip Rivers was a rookie? He's going to hurry up and rush the ball out? Phillip Rivers gave you the blueprint. Even if you wanted to sit on it, by the time 8 or maybe 16 seconds went, oh, he's not going to hike it. Timeout. And then we would have been saying, man, you allowed 10, 16, 15, 20, whatever seconds. We would have said that, but we would have had some time. But in this case, brother, 3 timeouts. 3. Count them, people. 3. You had all of your timeouts with a minute, 58 seconds, but it's basically a minute left in the half. And give me a second, Coach T. I've got to address a donation. Thank you, C. Antoine Hill. I appreciate the donation. Let's read his comment. He says, and you can call Randy for dinking and dunking passing early. No, we'll get to that. Let's stick to Tomlin. Thank you for the donation. Coach, I'm telling you, I almost lost my mind when I saw that you still went for it. Taking shots that I'm like, bruh, you had time if you were going to do that. And here's the kicker. Again, here's part 2 of maybe you didn't trust the offense. You're not going to give Ray a chance? I mean, Coach, listen, you've been good, man. You're going to have to find something. Somebody got to help you with this clock management. That kind of stuff is absolutely ridiculous. But I am going to give you credit. I'm going to say it to you while you're right here. What a great job you must have did in that second half. You coached your butt off some kind of way. You must have inspired them. You must have, I don't know, maybe you influenced the offense. I don't know what you did. But, Coach, I got to give you credit for that because just like everybody wanted to fire you on the 3-game skid, now let's see if they give you the credit for holding your team together and coming back with one of the biggest second half comebacks at Heinz Field, according to what they said on the TV. Let's see if they give you credit for that. I'm giving you credit for that. I'm talking to all of you Tomlin haters. I don't want to hear y'all praising them now. Keep the same energy. But, Coach, get out of here, man. You got to do something with that time management. My bad, guys. I went on a tangent, man. We already at 28 minutes. Let me hurry up. I just tell you, guys, I'm talking to y'all now. You cannot do that. My cousin Floyd had to call me at halftime. He was so upset. Floyd said, man, he was yelling at the TV so bad, he felt himself getting faint and thought he was going to pass out. And I know he did. I mean, me, Leonard, we watching it together. We all like, what? Bruh. There's no excuse. There's no answer for that. And that's a coach thing, guys. You know when I say I give coaches blame for coaching decisions, that right there falls squarely in the lap of Mike Tomlin. As much as I still like Mike Tomlin, when you wrong, you wrong. Bruh, Mike Tomlin himself couldn't even explain that decision to me. I'm going to be honest. And me be like, oh, okay. I'm going to be like, nah, coach, I still don't agree with that. But hey, that's why you make the big bucks. You know? But whatever. All right, let's keep it moving, man. So second half, coach drives straight down the field. Tuitt is able to essentially end the drive with a sack, held the coach to a field goal, and T.J. Watt goes off the field with a limp. That scared me a little bit. 7 possession. We're in the third quarter. And I'm about to call y'all boy in the office. You'll see. Ben starts to get Chase Claypool involved. Ben finds Claypool deep on the third target. Finds Ebron to bring up a 1st and goal. Claypool drops the touchdown. It was a bang-bang, but you got to make that catch, Claypool. Come on, young boy. Steelers go for it on 4th and goal and are denied. Here's the number one question. Me and Leonard agreed in theory, but I understood this decision. Let me explain this to you guys. Should the Steelers have kicked the field goal at that point? We were at that point 24-7, right? Steelers are down 3 scores. And I know everybody says you're going to need 2 touchdowns, you're going to need a field goal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Would y'all have kicked the field goal in that situation to potentially make it a 14-point game? Or would you have gone for it right there on the 2-yard line to try to get your touchdown early? I'm going to look in the chat for a second. You guys answer that really, really, really quick. I want to see what you guys have to say. But let me explain to you why I think it's not a bad call either way. We still need the points, right? We still need a field goal, a touchdown, and a touchdown. I think the reason why they went for it is because the offense had been struggling. We were finally got something going. And you feel like you hot. You don't know when you're going to be back down here on the goal line. Let's try to get in there. That's probably the reason why they went for it. Ollie Howard says go for it. Yep. That's probably why they went for it. Now, again, I can understand the argument, and I'm going to be honest with y'all. I might have went conservative there and been like, well, let's just get these 3. But I get it. I'm not mad at him going for it. I understand it. Go for it. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. And, me and Leonard was kind of having a semi-debate, and I explained, I said, no, I agree with you. Maybe you kicked the field goal, but I can't deny him for not, for going for it. I can't disagree with going for it. So, yeah. But anyway, look, it worked out for us. So, we went for it. They get the ball basically on the 2-yard line. Steelers are able to force a 3 and out, and we get great field position, all right, to start the 8th drive. 8th drive. Oh, hold on. No, I'll call him in the office later. Let me move through this. 8th drive. Very first play of the game. And actually, we about to call him in the office right now in a minute. First play of the drive. Ben goes over the top with a deep shot to Deontay Johnson, and what a throw by Big Ben. See, every now and then, Ben put it out there. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with his arm. It's his accuracy. Maybe it is the knee situation. We keep hearing more and more reports about him hyperextending the knee. Maybe. But when it shows up, it shows up. What a throw. Deontay lays out for it. Touchdown. Randy Fichtner, bring yourself in this office now. Bring yourself in this office. My God. Randy Fichtner, I'm going to be blunt. Listen, I don't know you personally. It's no disrespect. I'm just a fan. And I'm using the eye test to decide how I feel about coaches, players, et cetera, et cetera. Can I just ask you a question? I've asked you this question all season. Why do you wait so long to get started? Why do you reject throwing the ball downfield? I had a theory. And I told my good brother Tony and my good brother Kenyon in the chat, in the group text, during the game, I said I have a theory about Big Ben that I'm going to talk about in the post-game show. This is when I thought we were still going to lose because we were down 2-3 scores. I thought, you know what? Maybe the injury is for real. Maybe he's calling plays based off of what Ben is able to do right now physically. Just maybe. It's just a thought. But when you see us come out and throw down the field, look what happens. Look what happens when we start throwing down the field. We getting PIs drawn. Claypool at one time, do you remember? He was leading the league, might still be leading the league, and drawing PIs. Deontay draws 2 late in this game. But look what happens when we start throwing the ball. When we not doing the quick passing game. Oh boy, good things happen. Why does it take you so long to adjust the plan? I don't get it, Mr. Fichtner. Which is the reason why I'm honestly saying this. When your contract expires at the end of the season, I hope the Steelers move on. No disrespect to you. I'm just saying, I need to see more variety infused into this offense. You don't seem to have it. And then when you turn it around, it's always so late. But here's my fear. Your job is probably going to be saved. Because games like this, they're going to look back and say, oh, we came back to win. I don't know. But I don't understand this, bro. We're not going to be able to do this with everybody. You play some of these other teams, the score going to be too far to hand. Stop starting so slow. Stop sticking to the plan until it's, we in dire straits. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's like we turned on a different switch. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, man. I ain't got nothing else to say, Mr. Feedner. You can go. Real quick, guys, let's roll through this, man. Like I said, we get Ebron involved. We get Claypool involved. Good things started to happen. The very next drive, we find Deontay Johnson over the top. Bam. Avery Williamson gets a sack on first down to start the next drive. Brings up a 2nd and 18. Steelers force incompletion and brings up 3rd and 18. Steelers force a 3 and out. You see what's starting to happen now? Now defense a little more energized. Now we're on to the 9th possession. Deontay Johnson draws a PI on the second play. Moves the ball to the 50. Deontay Johnson draws another PI. Moves the ball down to the 5-yard line. Ben finishes the drive with a touchdown to Ebron. Score is now 24-21. You see what happens when you start throwing the ball downfield? Good things happen. Steelers would then force a gentleman's 3 and out. I like to call it a gentleman's 3 and out when you get a first down in the drive and then the very next drive, you do a 3 and out. It's kind of like a gentleman's sweep, in the NBA. You guys get the picture, right? So we get a gentleman's 3 and out after the first down play to Doyle. Cam Hayward finishes the drive with the sack again. Cam Hayward has been constant, man. He's just been a constant force all season. 10th possession. Steelers put together another decent drive. Ebron gets called for false start, brings up a 2nd and 15. Steelers run a screen, brings up 3rd and 5. Picks up the first down with a quick pass to Connor out of the backfield. Nice little quick pass. That was nice call right there. Ben almost throws another pick, though, trying to find Claypool. We saw that in this game. Ben forced a couple of those throws that should have been picked off. And I agree, should have been called an offensive PI on Claypool. We got bailed out there. Colts get called for an illegal contact, gives us another first down. We're at the 25, and then Ben finds Juju in the end zone for the TD. Score is now 28-24. Man, what a throw that was to Juju. My man, right in the basket. And Juju, again, remember the guy that y'all said was soft? Holds on to the ball, getting hit as he catches it in the end zone. Yeah, the soft Juju. Yeah. So there you have it, man. So at this point, where we at? Let me get back to my notes. Score is now 28-24. Ben used the pump fake to perfection to free up a little bit of space for Juju. He kind of held the safety, and the next rest is history. Highsmith gets big pressure on Rivers on the next drive and forced the interception. Hilton comes up with the interception, but Highsmith's pressure was what made Phillip Rivers throw it deep. Hilton gets the turnover. 11th possession. Steelers unable to pick up the first down on a 3rd and 2, and we have to punt to the Colts. Now, this is what I wrote here. The Steelers ran like a little sprint out pass to Deontay Johnson. I would have attempted a run to burn a little more clock, at least, to get it down to the 2-minute warning, because I think at this point the Colts had burnt all their timeouts. And I said here, you have to take a chance, man. You're either going to pick it up or you're not. But the thing about it, running the pass the way we did it, that sprint out, the defense knows it's coming that direction. We're not going to throw it back across the field. You know what I'm saying? So it plays into the Colts' hand. Even if you're going to do the short passing game, I felt like there was an opportunity there to run some of the ones that we ran earlier in that drive. If you're going to do that, stick to your, you know what I mean? But whatever. It didn't cost us in the end. I just that's where the lack of the run game really shows up, folks, is in those situations. And that's what concerns me going into the playoffs. Like, I don't feel any better about the team, really, than what I said last week. Maybe a touch better, and I'll explain that in a second. But we still got these glaring issues. So to end the game, man, the Steelers forced the Colts into a 4th and 6. Nelson. Steven Nelson gets called for PI on an interception, you might add. That could have ended the game, and that gave the Colts more downs to work with. And then I said Minka had a chance also, I think it was on the 2nd down, where he read it perfectly. Rivers tried to get it to Doyle. He came and got his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. That could have ended the game. But then what did end the game? Alex Highsmith with good pressure again, using that old crafty, kind of looked like a guy who played for the Colts, looking like Freeney out there, gets the spin move inside, great pressure, and forces an incompletion on the part of Phillip Rivers. So really quick, man, my takeaways, guys, the Steelers they have 5 yards rushing to start the fourth quarter. I want y'all to ponder on that. 5 rushing yards to start the fourth quarter. We can't keep doing that, man. Steelers living and dying with the short passing game, man. And I said Randy Feetner's job may need to be in question, and yeah. And I said, I wonder if it was, this is what I wrote it. See, this was early in the game. I said, I wonder if it's more of a lack of Ben's carrying abilities. But again, when we start doing the deep shots, I'm like, well, you see what I'm saying? Steelers have not produced points in the first quarter for 6 straight games. They said that on the broadcast, and that blew me away. That's crazy. TJ Watt was getting held a lot in this game. I have that notated here. A lot. Some of them was clear holds. Even Tony Romo called them out once or twice. Nothing called. I said Rivers and the Colts were having their way with our defense in the first half. Special teams also produced a lot of penalties. I did not like that. And then I said Mike Tomlin is still not that good with clock management, man. I have it noted here. And then the last thing I said is Alex Highsmith is going to be a stud. That kid has it, man. Again, discussed it with father-in-law Leonard. Don't be fooled, guys, by the fact that you're not seeing a lot of sacks yet. Give him time. But the kid has it. He has it. Y'all see the pass rush moves in his arsenal, man. He's a natural pass rusher, and I think this guy is going to turn out to be something. And it's weird, man, because we had a 56 before that turned out to be something, right? So it's kind of eerie seeing that. I don't think he's not as big as Woodley was, obviously, but I think we're starting to see the development of a very solid pass rusher, and we should still be in the market for another pass rusher, at some point in the draft. You want to get a good 3-man rotation. I don't know if Adaney is that. We saw the kid Marsh played a little bit today. That was interesting, so let's keep an eye on that to see if he perks up next week, as well as if he, into the playoffs. But here's the other funny thing. How Cleveland let the Jets beat them, man? I tell you, it's any given Sunday. That is so funny. So we were going to win the division either way you look at it. And what I thought was funny, right? I said, how funny would it be if we lost this game today and then we still won the division? Because I think, did they lose? I think they lost. They was losing when let me see. Because I didn't wait to see the finale. But didn't they lose? Let me look, guys. Hold on. I'm looking at NFL.com. Yeah. The Jets beat Cleveland. How you going to lose to the Jets, man? The Jets, any given Sunday, folks. So I thought that was funny. And here's another thing that I'll say really quick, man, before we get to the calls. And guys, we have 44 minutes. My bad. I know I talked a lot, but hey, I guess, when you're hosting the show, that's what happens. So I'm going to have to ask you guys to be quick. Y'all have been great with it last week. So if we can, get through it. Let's see how many we got. We have 7 calls. So let's try to knock those out as fast as we can. But one thing to note, right? Now we have an opportunity because seeding doesn't matter. Kansas City clinched the number 1 spot, and y'all saw that? Falcons could have won that game, man. Wow. Any given Sunday, right? But I think we rest players next week. Why not? It don't mean nothing. Let's rest some guys up, man. And maybe we can get guys like Marsh and more of these backup guys in there and just see how they play, Doesn't mean nothing. But all right, let's take some calls, man. Y'all know the routine, man. 60 seconds. Let's be quick in and out so we can get all of y'all in. Like I said, right now we're sitting on 7 calls. First one in the queue, area code 678. What you got for us?
Thanks for taking my call, Sim.
Yes, sir.
If the underneath is going to be taken away from you, then the deep ball is going to be available. Now, the difference between a few weeks ago and today, they was catching the ball. Thanks a lot for catching the ball, Deontay. The reason you called Randy Feetner into the office is because people to get paid to catch the ball was dropping the ball. Now, we definitely need to get that running game together.
Yeah.
But also, so I'm so glad that you are recognizing the fact that not only is T.J. Watt getting held, but Alex Highsmith getting tackled. Tackled. I mean, and he, I mean, come on, man. I mean, and I will give the referees a little credit today. They did throw the flag when, it needed to be thrown. But I will say the last 3 weeks, that hadn't been the example. And all throughout the season, we got to play the team and the refs. But, congratulations to the wide receivers for catching the ball today. I only got 60 seconds. That's all I had to say. Congratulations on the win. Once again, Kings of the North.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you very much for the call, man. And so you said a lot in that little bit of time, and he set the tone, guys. See, we can say a lot quick, and let me be fast too. You're absolutely right. The boys they caught the ball today. Catching is a big part of it. And let's say this really quick too, man, to add on to the run game. Man, that offensive line. Oh, I can't wait to analyze it, man, to see how Dotson did. But, man, Villanueva, man. That's all I'm going to say. Lil Al just won't get it done. And the run game. We'll look at the pass protection. 651, what you got for us?
What's up, Sam, man? No, I ain't got but a few minutes, so I got 1 minute, actually. I got 2 quick things to say. I don't know what Tomlin said at halftime, but it lit a fire under everybody. Even the offensive line blocked better. They didn't run much, but they blocked better.
Yeah.
On the passing downs. And Ben had a zip I hadn't seen this year. Like, he was gunning it. And other part of that is, where was that pump fake all year? That's his staple. We hadn't seen that much at all. The other thing is, Highfield didn't do a lot the first half. It's like he was still trying to figure it out. And I kept saying early, if we don't get pass rush from the other side like we did Bud, don't have to be the exact same, but having pressure coming from both sides, because with Bud there, you had it every other play. So when he turned up in the second half, you could see the difference. But that's all I got, man. Thank you.
Man, you're most welcome, brother. And yes, I would say I've seen some passes like that made me say, woo. Even early in the season, I said, oh, no, ain't nothing wrong with the arm. But, yeah, he zips it, man. He has some zip when he needed to, and that's the thing. I think the problem is the accuracy. But ain't nothing wrong with that arm as far as arm strength. And, yeah, I agree. I agree with Highsmith, man. If he can, yeah, he's going to be special, man, if he can keep it going. And, I'm acknowledging that he is still a rookie, but definitely, man, it seems like he turned it up most definitely in the second half. 843, what you got for us?
Hey, how are you, Sam?
Good.
I just want to say that Ben Owens Rivers, man, it's something about that man that Ben just cannot stand. He's like, I'm going to let Cincinnati beat me, but not you, old man, Rivers. Like, he cannot stand that man. And, like, I noticed that Connor got his most positive yardage when the defense was scared to pass. Everybody's saying we need to get a running game, but see, this is going to open up the running game. This is exactly why they need the threat of the pass. Once they had the threat of the pass, everything else opened up for the running game. The Cardinals ran strong, and the defense seemed like they all got given up until we started scoring and showing them that they had something to play for. Because, these guys are tired. Those 3 and out, man, those are some big dudes, man. They get tired really quickly. Thanks for taking my call, man. Go to it.
Man, absolutely. Thank you as well. And you made a great point right there, man, because, when we were watching the game, Leonard kept saying, get to him. And I said, man, they tired. This was in the fourth quarter. I was like, they tired, man. They've been rushing all game and all them 3 and out. Like, sometimes people don't realize that. I know as fans, we emotional, but it's like, if y'all play sports, y'all know they was tired, man. But, they made plays when they had to. But, yeah, I kept screaming that too. Run the ball. Like on that 3rd and 2, when we did the little sprint, I went, run it. You have to at least keep the threat of the run, but we'll see, man. But you're right. Doing that passing definitely opened up the run for the 1 or 2 decent runs that Connor had. 609, what you got for us?
What's going on, SimFBallCritic?
Good. What's going on, man?
I hate to say this, but listen. We finally made adjustments. Oh, my God. I could have been. The first half was like, I wanted to cuss that TV out. I want to cuss Tomlin, the whole team out and stuff. But second half, I texted this in the chat and everything. Like, If the Steelers can play like this in the second half Steelers offense and defense, well, the defense has been playing good all around this whole season. But if we can play good like this, the offense, like the second half, like this like next week and in the playoffs, we're gonna be dangerous, man. And what are your thoughts? Not what are your thoughts, but what is your question? What's your answer on this? Do you think the second half Steelers offense can go up against Kansas City, or do you think your opinions have changed with being in Kansas City? Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.
Man, thank you for calling. I will definitely answer that question. No. My opinion has not changed. But you know why? The number one word that you said was second half. You can't do that against Kansas City. You can't do that. Cannot do that. And listen, they're not, I'm not going to say they unbeatable. We just saw them struggle with the Falcons. They had a couple more struggle games. I think maybe even last week or the week before. But still, when they're on, they're on. So if we're talking about the best of the Steelers and the best of the Kansas City Chiefs, assuming that Kansas City's offense is clicking and assuming that our offense clicks in the second half, nah. My feelings have not changed about beating Kansas City, unfortunately. Hope I'm wrong, man, if we get that far. Area code 8003, what you got for us?
Hey, brother, how you doing tonight?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Please don't leave that, whatever it is your wife wants you to bring over to Little House. Don't forget that.
Thank you.
All right. Now, what Coach Tomlin needs, I don't know whether you call this guy quality control. He needs two coaches. He needs a guy up in the stands to make sure anytime you need to throw that flag, buzzing. Secondly, he needs a time and management clock coach on the sideline to help him out with that situation. He's too good a coach to be getting caught into that kind of thing. But other than that, it is this. I think we tied the biggest comeback at Heinz Field, not Three River Stadium, but Heinz Field, 24-7 against the Browns in the playoffs. A question I would like to ask is, do we rest our starters? Because I would rather be the third seed and not get caught up in a game against the Baltimore Ravens. I would almost rather be the third seed in that situation. Well, last but not least, you asked a question. I would like to use Joshua Dobbs situationally on 3rd1, 4th and 1, first and goal on the 1. The same way the Colts used Jacoby Brissett. Yep. Thank you so much. See you tonight.
Man, great point, 803. Always coming through with them great perspectives. Yes, I would like to see that. My cousin Floyd texted me the same way. He was like, yo, man, why we don't do stuff like that? And, even though Dobbs has been inactive, but still, why don't we do that? A Taysom Hill situation, something like that. Just to pose a different type of threat. Let Dobbs come out there and quote unquote run the Wildcat. Something. It just got to be a little more creative, man. But everything you said was right on point, man. Right on point. Can't disagree with any of that. 3 more calls, guys, and I think we're going to wrap this up, man. So let's keep it moving. We're doing good. 973-443, and then 505 will be the last one. 973, what you got for us?
Yeah, good afternoon, Sam. How you feeling today?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just want to make a point. Like a lot of us, we feel and realize that the Steelers, they played a lot of games, with since against the Baltimore game with the COVID, taking they bye in week 4. So it mentally I seen a team today that was just mentally and physically drained. I don't know what they did in the second half, but they came out and played ball. But I believe this team can go as far as they wanted to go. It's the only team that really could beat the Steelers are the Steelers, like coaching, coach management, and all that, because they had the talent. And to me, this rest Ben, let him just be rested. We don't care about the seeding. We need rest. We haven't had this could be our mini bye week, and I like our chances because KC can be beat. like you say, any given Sunday. Like nobody's really that great in the NFL right now to say hands down they can't be beat. Thanks for taking my call, Clem. I'm Sim. Have a good one, brother.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the call. You right on point with that, man. Even though I sit here and I say we can't beat Kansas City, but hey, listen, if they struggle with the Falcons and whoever else, it's any given Sunday. And let me answer this too, because I think the caller before 803 wanted to know my opinion on it. If we are playing the way we looked, like if our offense can be explosive like that, like we saw, a few games earlier in the season, we dangerous. We dangerous. Our defense, listen, I know some people probably got down on the defense when we were losing, but guys, you have to understand we're playing against other professionals. You know what I mean? All defense is going to give up stuff. Sometimes the defense is going to look bad. It happens. They catch you slipping. So, but as a whole, we have enough defense to win games. We saw it today. They made plays. They made stops when we needed them to make stops. But if our offense can keep firing like that, we are a threat to any team in the AFC, even the Chiefs. I'm just not as confident that our offense will click the way it did in the second half. That's my only concern is our offense. I think we have a very, very talented team, man. But we shall see. 443, what you got for us?
Merry Christmas, man, to you and the fam, Sim.
Same to you.
God's strength is with you and your. I pray God's strength is with you and your family under the circumstances, man. But real quick, there's a lot of people that's not exonerated because of this win, and one of them is the offensive line. Second one is the OC, and the third one is the DC. We know why the DC, because in situational football, he's still calling zone plays on third and goal. The situational awareness is no better than Tomlin's at this point. Last game, well, what do we know? Somebody that we used to know in the number 7 jersey showed up in the second half and won a game. Have a good one, son.
Yeah, man, appreciate that call. You're right. And that's why, because as odd as it sounds, guys, I get direct messages sometimes and people will tell me, man, why you criticizing and we won the game? And I'm like, nah. We still got to address the negative. Like you said, there was quite a few times, you got Williamson and Williams that just couldn't do anything with Doyle. And I get it, man. You're going to get, because we try to do those matchups too. You get the tight end on the linebacker, but it seems like ours is so predictable. It's like we just stay in the same coverages a lot. And then we'll make adjustments later. But I just wish we could get off, start a little faster with our plan, both offensively and defensively. But yeah, you got to acknowledge the bad, man. You can't, because it was a lot of bad early in that game. We cannot act like that didn't happen. Last call of the night, man. Area code 505. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Tim? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So my thoughts is, why don't we open the game passing the ball deep? Because as we started to hit those passes in the game, the screens were open, the crossing routes were open. The whole offense just came alive right as soon as we hit that deep touchdown to Deontay Johnson. But Randy Fittner got to go. I don't know what they did in the second half. I don't know if it was Ben or Tomlin or something, or I don't know, if they give Randy Fittner a blunt or something. But we need to open the game with the passing game. I mean with the deep passing game first, I believe, because that just opens everything else. That's what I miss the most from the Antonio Brown days. I miss it when we would just go at teams deep. You know what I'm saying? Even if it gets intercepted or if it falls incomplete, you at least make them back up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But we could. But if we play like this in the second half, we could beat Kansas City. That's all I got, Tim. Thank you very much.
Man, thank you as well, man. Guys, we did a wonderful job with the calls, man. So if I could just get through my recaps faster, I could give y'all more time, right? Look, we finished right at an hour, so I'll spend maybe another 5 to 10 minutes here wrapping up. thank you guys for that, man. I mean, I love getting you guys involved. I love hearing other opinions. I don't want to just be the only one talking on the show. Y'all know it's a family affair, man. I just happen to be the one in the driver's seat, so to speak. Couple things I want to mention. That offensive line, it does scare me a little bit in the run game. Me and Leonard have these crazy debates sometimes. I say crazy because, we both passionate about our thoughts. But then, it don't mean nothing after that. We go right back to what we were doing, but we both be arguing one point. Like Leonard would say that our running backs are the problem. And I would say, no, it's the offensive line. Because what you can't forget, man, is when we had those games where we rushed for 100 yards, I think 5 straight games. You have a game like last week when Benny Snell rushes for 84 yards on 18 carries and a touchdown. You can't say it's the running back. Now, Leonard's argument is always our running backs can't do what some of these other guys can do. And I'm like, well, that's fair. Remember, we used to have the best running back in the league, right? So you don't always get that. And then he said, I said before the season started, we should go in and get a running back, and Connor's not the answer. Okay, I agree with that. But we drafted McFarland. McFarland hasn't quite panned out yet. So I guess my point is you're not always going to get what you expecting. We tried to address the running back position, and, in lieu of these guys, probably Connor probably not being, he's probably not going to get re-signed. McFarland just hasn't panned out yet. I like Benny Snell, actually. I don't know if I like Snell as the featured back. Not so much, even though I did say that last. I do kind of like him out there, but you do kind of see his limitations if he's the featured back. I think the Steelers at this point just need to be a rotation, running back by committee type of team. But the offensive line, just scares me a little bit, man. I just don't. They just don't seem to be opening up a lot of holes, man. And, I don't know if that's the blocking scheme, the individual, because I tend to feel like the scheme is the scheme, but you're supposed to hold down your end of the bargain. And like I said, little Al just been getting taken to school here lately, man. And then you got Chooks that ain't doing that good. And then, Dotson is going to have his good moments, his bad moments as a rookie. The Castro has been pretty solid, but it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. That concerns me a little bit. Also, what else would I like to see come next week? I'm gonna be honest with you. More than just the rest, y'all know what I really want to see out there? Let's see a little Mason Rudolph. Let's see a little Mason Rudolph against the Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett. Let's sit Big Ben down. I don't think Ben needs to play in this one. If we can rest him, let's rest him. There's no need to play. I mean, again, if you're worried about seeding, well, you want to keep the number 2, okay, but I don't think it means nothing. I think it's locked for the most part. So, you're gonna get your playoff game at home. Let's see a little Mason Rudolph or Josh Dobbs. Let's see what the backups can do. Kind of like what they did with RG3 last year against us in the last game. Let's see that. Let's see Anthony McFarland out there as more of a featured guy. Let's see Justin Lane. Let's see some of these guys like that, man. Let's see what they can do. Let's rest some of the marquee guys. Maybe the Minkas of the world. I don't know. Defensively, I feel a little different defensively because you can always get better. But maybe you rest. You give TJ a little more rest. Cut his reps down. Let Highsmith and whoever else is going to be pass rush with him. But y'all know what I'm saying. Other than that, man, again, listen. The heckle and jive is killing me, man. It's I don't know what to think about the team. I will say this. It's good to see 2 things that I noticed today. It was a lot of the same in the first half. I didn't like that. Apparently, we made some adjustments. Apparently, Tomlin lit a fire, in the second half. And again, guys, this is the reason why I said this last week. I'm going to continue to say this. I don't believe in the whole they didn't have their team prepared to play. I don't believe that. I believe you come in every game prepared to win, prepared to play. And how you perform is how you perform. But whatever happened in that second half, great job. Great job getting them motivated. Great job of executing. Great job of guys making plays, et cetera, et cetera. Great job with taking shots down the field. If we play like that, I think we do pose a threat to most teams in the playoffs. I still don't favor us, though. I don't, because I don't know if we're going to keep it up. That's my problem. If we've been playing like this the whole year, and this 12-3 look like 12-3 for real, then I would say, all right, we're going to be dangerous. But I'm just not confident in our consistency, man. And I think it's going to come back to bite us if we start slow against these other teams, you know? Other than that, the second point, it was definitely good. It was definitely good to see us not only fight back, but we beat a good team today. A playoff team. Playoff caliber team. That was good to see. So that makes me feel a little more confident in the fact that if we're on our game, we can play with anybody. We played very, very well in that second half. And to pull out a win like that against a good team, cannot take that for granted. But all right, guys, I think I'm going to roll, man. I'm going to give you guys 3 more minutes, literally. And we'll read some chats. Three more minutes. What y'all got? Somebody said, now y'all love Dobbs after Mason took his job. Right. Wave Dave, I'm right there with you. It's funny, man. There's been some people here in the chat preaching Dobbs all year. And I'm like, huh? Now we off the Dobbs? I don't get it, man. Gordon Reynolds says, please stop letting Ben call playground plays in the huddle. Young receivers have to concentrate on the playground route instead of focusing catching the ball. I don't know how far I go with that, Gordon, because some of that stuff has actually worked this year, like very well. So I don't know how far I go with agreeing with that. I think I know what you're saying, but I don't know. Captain Spartan says, Sim, we don't need to rest. It hurts a lot. You complain about starting slow. Imagine when this is a team when the week of rest needs to shake off the rust in the playoffs. That is an excellent point. That is an excellent point, Captain. I'm just saying, this year I kind of lean more towards the rest. I don't want to risk, you can't live in your fears, but I just don't want to risk, Ben getting touched or something. You know what I'm saying? But you make an excellent point. I cannot deny that. You're absolutely right. Imagine if we rested guys and then we start off super slow in the playoff game. You have a great point there. I can't debate that. Can't debate that. Smitty says, man, it's crazy. I fell asleep for the first 3 quarters, then woke up and noticed the safeties were playing off and nobody wanted to defense was crowding the line of the scrimmage against the Steelers. Yeah, man. Quite a turnaround. Relifax says, Sim, if we going to rest anybody, it's Ben, Hayward, and Haden. They have been there before. They know how to get ready for the postseason. Yep, I can see your point there. Ed Smith says, I have to eat crow. I called Ben. Why y'all keep spelling Ben name like I've been there before? B-E-E-N. He said, I called Ben washed all week. He showed he still has a little left in the tank. Remember I said that, though, guys. Remember I said that, look, I think you can still win with him. But even though I just think he's definitely in the downside of his career, no doubt about that. He's not the Ben he used to be. But I will still take him right now. We can still win with Ben easy. Yeah, Sean says you don't call playground plays. It happens when the play breaks down and the quarterback still has the ball. I absolutely 100% agree with that. I got time for one more, guys. R Killer 13 says Ray McLeod is exactly who we needed to not put our star receivers on the special team. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and Ray has been doing a good job, man. He's making things happen when ain't nothing really there. Actually, I'll read one last one. Why Diggy? He says, I think it's really more about mental rest as opposed to physical. The way the season has gone, we need the rest for mental fatigue. Yeah, I agree with that as well. That's why I say I think I lean more towards rest this season. And let's just see where they fall. Listen, guys, you're professionals. If you can't shake the rust off in a week, it'd be like a bye week. You know what I'm saying? So I would vote rest for this year. in this last game. Let's see a little Mason Rudolph out there. Why not? Let's see a little Justin Lane out there. Why not? Or Sutton, man in the early downs. We'll see. But all right, guys, we won. Great win for the Steelers, man. It's going to be interesting to see what the media says tomorrow. Now the Steelers are a contender. Now they're going to eat crow. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. And people just don't stick with their own opinion. They always swaying with the wind. That's weird to me. But anyway, guys, make sure y'all do this. Subscribe. Cut on your notifications. Hit the like button. Don't ever cost you anything to hit the like button. Please do that. Speaking of costs, I appreciate you guys who've donated here tonight, and I definitely appreciate you guys who donate offline. You prefer another method outside of YouTube. If that's the way you prefer to go, I have PayPal, I have Cash App. That information is in the description. Other than that, I'm going to go back over here to father-in-law Leonard's house, have some dinner, chill with the family, watch a little more football, and I'm definitely watching some football tonight. Oh, yeah. That should be a good one. That should be a good one. But all right, man. See you guys on Tuesday for Terrible Towel Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll kick it off there, and we'll talk again. Hope you guys have a great night. Have a great start off to your week. And keep in mind, for most of you, it'll be a short week, so you can get through it. Monday ain't that bad. All right, man. Y'all stay safe. God bless. Good night. And thanks for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Whoa, what am I talking about? Thanks for tuning in to the post-game show.